The career of Jerry Lee Lewis, who died last week at age 87, slammed to a halt.
For decades, country music has given us legends with voices that touch the heart. But behind the hits and sold-out shows, there were controversies. From Jerry Lee Lewis's marriage to his 13-year-old cousin, to George Jones's obsessive affairs, these 20 country legends let lust destroy their careers. Join us as we uncover the truth behind these scandals. Number 20. Jerry Lee Lewis. Jerry Lee Lewis rose like a flame in the late 1950s. His music was loud, joyful, and full of wild energy. Audiences loved his fearless piano style, and success came very fast. It felt like nothing could stop him. Then one private choice suddenly became public, and everything changed. In the year 1957, Jerry Lee Lewis married a young family member. At first, there was confusion about her age when the news reached the press. When it became clear that she was only 13 years old, the reaction was immediate and severe. In 1958, during a planned tour in the United Kingdom, the truth spread quickly. Newspapers reacted with shock and anger. Promoters canceled shows. Radio support faded. Doors that had been wide open closed almost overnight. This single relationship reshaped his entire career path. His fast-growing pop stardom stalled. Opportunities disappeared, not because of his music, but because trust was broken between the artist and the public. The press coverage was intense, and the backlash followed him wherever he went. It became clear that talent alone could not protect him from the consequences of personal choices. Yet time passed, and music remained. Years later, in the late 1960s, Jerry Lee Lewis slowly rebuilt his career, this time in country music. The comeback did not erase the past, but it showed his strength and resilience. If explosive desire could wreck a tour, what about desire that turned violent in private? Number 19. Hank Williams. Hank Williams was one of country music's brightest stars, but his light burned too fast. His songs were simple and honest, filled with feelings that touched millions. Behind the beauty of the music, however, his personal life was falling apart. His marriage to Audrey brought both love and tension. Over time, repeated affairs and growing instability strained their relationship deeply. These troubles did not stay at home. They followed him onto the road. Missed shows, canceled appearances, and growing concern about his health began to shape his public image. People no longer saw only the gifted songwriter. They also saw a man struggling to hold himself together. As the early 1950s passed, the pressure grew heavier. His reliability suffered, and so did his reputation.
Talking fantasies, everything I've said on this record is real, and everybody...
Personal pain mixed with physical decline, creating a cycle that became hard to escape. Even as his songs continued to succeed, his ability to perform and tour weakened. The distance between the myth of Hank Williams and the reality of his life became impossible to ignore. He passed away in the year 1953 at just 29 years old. His career, though legendary, was painfully short. Love, infidelity, and instability shortened what could have been many more years of music. From messy marriages to prison stints, what happened when myth met reality? Number 18. Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash built his image on strength, honesty, and rebellion. In the 1950s, his career rose steadily, and his deep voice became instantly recognizable. Yet behind the scenes, desire and addiction began pulling him apart. During the 1960s, his life grew increasingly unstable. Substance dependence took control, and repeated infidelities damaged his first marriage. These struggles nearly ended his career. Performances became uncertain. Trust weakened. The outlaw image that once thrilled fans started to feel painfully real. Still, this story did not end in ruin. Johnny Cash faced his problems. He found support, entered recovery, and chose a new path. His marriage to June Carter in the year 1968 became a turning point, bringing stability and hope back into his life. Slowly, his music reflected this change. The The live recording at Folsom Prison marked a powerful return. It showed the world that failure did not have to be final. His story became one of redemption, not denial. Lust and excess were part of his journey, but they did not define its ending. Johnny Cash proved that even after deep mistakes, rebuilding is possible when truth is faced with courage. But not every scandal ends in recovery. Some become a pattern. Number 17. David Allen Coe. David Allen Coe became known as a bold outlaw voice in country music during the 1970s. His songwriting talent was undeniable, and his refusal to follow rules made him stand out. However, his choices in expression came with a heavy cost. Some of his work included racist, women-hating, and intimately explicit material. These songs and albums sparked strong reactions. While some listeners defended artistic freedom, others were deeply offended. As controversy grew, mainstream acceptance faded. Venues canceled shows. Critics responded harshly. The industry began to pull away. Unlike scandals tied to private relationships, this damage came directly from what was released to the public. Words meant to shock became barriers. Over time, the reputation stuck. Even as years passed, the impact of those choices followed him. Opportunities that might have expanded his career never fully returned. Number 16. Leann Rimes. Leann Rimes became famous at a very young age for her powerful voice and emotional country songs. People saw her as a gifted and kind artist with a bright future. Her music felt honest and warm, and many fans grew up listening to her songs. For years, the public admired her talent and believed she had a long and steady career ahead. In the year 2009, her life changed in a very public way. News broke about a romantic relationship with actor Eddie Cibrian, while both of them were married. While filming the television movie Northern Lights, Leann began an affair with her co-star, actor Eddie Cibrian. The scandal quickly turned explosive because both of them were already married, Leann to dancer Dean Cheramy and Eddie to model Brandi Glanville. The story spread quickly. Tabloids focused on every detail, and social media added even more noise. What had once been praise turned into judgment almost overnight. The attention did not fade quickly. Public sympathy shifted, and many fans felt disappointed. Even though her music did not stop, the way people viewed her changed. Endorsements became harder to secure, and touring energy slowed. The songs were still there, but the excitement around her image was no longer the same. Over time, she tried to repair her public image and move forward, yet the story followed her for years, showing how one relationship can leave a lasting mark. When the tabloids feast, careers can starve, but sometimes criminal allegations do even more damage. Number 15. Randy Travis. Randy Travis was known for his deep voice and traditional country sound. He brought sincerity back to country music and earned great love from fans who trusted his steady image. For decades, his songs felt comforting and timeless, and he was respected as a true country legend. In the year 2012, a series of public incidents shocked the public. A drunk driving arrest, where he was reported as naked and combative, became headline news. The details were hard to ignore, and the images stayed in people's minds. This single night created a spectacle that overshadowed years of careful work. The situation grew more serious as legal battles followed, including disputes over dashcam footage. News coverage focused less on his music and more on the incident. Touring slowed, and his image suffered deep damage. Even loyal fans struggled to understand what had happened. Later, serious health problems changed his ability to perform, marking another painful chapter in his career. Decades of music were pushed aside by one shocking event, reminding everyone how fragile public trust can be. Scandals can be messy, but when women come forward, the stakes change. Number 14. Jimmie Allen. Jimmie Allen rose quickly in modern country music. He was celebrated for fresh energy, chart success, and breaking new ground. Fans welcomed him as a hopeful voice for a new generation, and his future seemed full of promise. In the year 2023, Serious accusations changed everything. More than one woman filed civil lawsuits accusing him of intimate misconduct and related misconduct. He denied the claims, but the impact was immediate. Festivals canceled appearances, labels paused relationships, and bookings disappeared. The legal process moved slowly through the months that followed. Some cases were later dropped or shifted in court, but the damage had already spread. Even without a final outcome, his career stopped almost completely. This showed how modern accountability works. Allegations alone can freeze a career before any conclusion is reached. When recorded evidence emerges, comeback becomes harder, but not impossible. Number 13. Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen became one of country music's biggest modern stars with emotional songs and massive fan support. Many people loved his raw style and saw him as a voice of the moment. His rise felt unstoppable. In the year 2021, a video surfaced showing him using a racist slur. The reaction was swift.
Strikes now, there was the incident where he got temporarily banned.
Radio stations dropped his songs, award groups removed him from consideration, and his label suspended him. Trust vanished almost instantly. Even as streaming numbers stayed strong, the industry response showed clear consequences. Apologies followed, along with efforts to improve and move forward. Over time, some support returned, and parts of his career slowly resumed. Still, the moment left a permanent mark. From slurs to secret recordings, the next story is about the evidence that never should have existed. Number 12. Conway Twitty. Conway Twitty was one of the most loved voices in country music. He rose to fame in the late 1950s and became a true superstar in the 1970s and 1980s. His most famous song, Hello Darlin', became a timeless favorite. Fans admired his smooth voice, gentle delivery, and romantic style. For many listeners, he represented warmth, charm, and classic country emotion. As his career reached great heights, his personal life became more visible. Conway Twitty was married several times, and his relationships often became topics of public talk. Rumors about off-stage relationships followed him for years. These stories did not lead to court cases, but they quietly shaped how people saw him. Gossip appeared in magazines and press profiles, slowly changing his image. During his peak years, his music continued to succeed. Concerts were full, and his songs stayed popular. Still, the repeated attention on his private life created distance for some fans. Industry goodwill softened as patterns became clearer. It was not one moment that caused concern, but a steady flow of stories that never fully faded. Even without scandal headlines, repeated talk can become heavy. His music remained loved, yet his personal life became part of the conversation around his name. Sometimes the pattern matters more than a single deed. But what about outright criminal allegations? Number 11. Charlie Rich. Charlie Rich was known for his rich voice and emotional delivery. He rose to fame in the 1960s and reached major success in the 1970s. His most famous song, The Most Beautiful Girl, brought him wide recognition and public affection. Fans loved his blend of country, soul, and pop, and he was praised for his deep musical talent. As success grew, problems followed him on. The road. Heavy alcohol use became a constant part of his life. Public outbursts and strange stage moments began to appear in concert reviews and industry talk. These moments distracted attention away from his music and toward his behavior. Even as hit songs continued, the incidents piled up. Promoters grew cautious. Performances became unpredictable. The gap between his talent and his actions widened. What started as concern slowly became a pattern that affected how he was viewed. By the later years of the 1970s, his career momentum had weakened. The decline was not caused by one affair or single mistake. It came from repeated choices that chipped away at trust and stability. Number 10. Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard rose from a hard beginning to become one of country music's strongest voices. He became famous in the 1960s, with Okie from Muskogee standing as his most well-known song. His past included time in prison, which shaped his outlaw image. Fans admired his honesty, strength, and raw storytelling. As his career grew, his personal life remained turbulent. He married multiple times, and his relationships often ended painfully. Stories of domestic turmoil and personal conflict appeared in interviews and biographies. These issues followed him even as his music continued to succeed. The outlaw image helped his appeal, but real-life struggles blurred the line between image and behavior. Some fans accepted the chaos as part of his persona, while others pulled away. Headlines about personal issues created discomfort for mainstream audiences. Despite continued musical output, repeated controversies made his public life messy. Support shifted depending on the moment. His career moved forward, but never without personal stories trailing behind. When allegations moved from private affairs to public lawsuits, careers can truly buckle. Number 9. Phil Vassar. Phil Vassar became famous first as a songwriter before stepping into the spotlight as a performer. He rose to prominence in the late 1990s, writing the hit song, Bye Bye. Fans admired his honesty, catchy melodies, and behind-the-scenes talent. He was known as a reliable creator of successful country songs. Unlike front-stage stars, songwriters usually stay out of public focus. When personal issues surfaced in his life, the impact was quieter but real. Public attention around relationship trouble and personal struggles affected how he was viewed in the industry. While not as dramatic as major scandals, the fallout still mattered. Bookings slowed, and collaborations became harder to secure. The damage happened away from headlines but inside professional spaces. Trust is essential for writers and producers, and once shaken, work can pause quickly. Public sins get press, private accusations get lawsuits, and lawsuits bring us to Number 8. Jason Aldean. Jason Aldean rose to fame in the early 2000s and became one of the defining voices of modern country music. He was known for loud guitars, strong rhythms, and songs that connected with everyday life. Hits like Dirt Road Anthem helped push him into the top tier of the genre. Fans loved his confident stage presence and the feeling that his music belonged to real people and real places. In the year 2012, his public image changed sharply. During a night out in Los Angeles, Jason was spotted getting too close to Brittany Kerr, a former American Idol contestant. The problem? He was still married to his high school sweetheart, Jessica Ussery.
I really enjoy our getting out in the backyard in the pool with my girls. And
the images spread fast through entertainment news and social media. Unlike earlier eras, the story did not move slowly. It reached millions almost instantly. Reactions formed within hours, and opinions became fixed very quickly. Fan trust split into clear sides. Some listeners felt disappointed and voiced their feelings online. Others defended him and focused only on the music. Concerts continued, but the atmosphere around his name shifted. Every public appearance was watched more closely. Brand partners and event organizers became cautious, knowing that online reactions could affect business decisions. Other controversies followed in later years. In the year 2017, a mass firing occurred during his performance at a music festival in Las Vegas. While he was not responsible, his name became closely tied to the tragedy in public memory. The emotional weight of that event followed him for years. Later, in the year 2023, a song release sparked national debate and renewed attention, placing him back in the center of cultural conflict. His career continued, but modern fame allowed no distance. Social media preserved every moment, and the conversation never fully moved on. But social media is not the only accelerant. Contracts and labels are. Number 7. Trace Adkins. Trace Adkins became famous in the late 1990s for his deep voice and emotional delivery. His most famous song, You're Gonna Miss This, made him a favorite among families and longtime country listeners. He was admired for his honesty, traditional sound, and calm presence. For many fans, he represented stability and maturity in country music. Over the years, that image faced repeated challenges. Several public incidents related to alcohol brought unwanted attention. Arrests and reports of intoxicated behavior appeared in news coverage. Each incident created concern among fans and industry leaders. While none erased his musical achievements, they changed how his career was managed. Public apologies followed many of these moments. News outlets tracked each development closely. Promoters and sponsors watched carefully, weighing risk against loyalty. Touring schedules became more sensitive to public perception. Endorsement opportunities required reassurance and careful handling. These incidents did not happen all at once. They appeared over time, creating a pattern that could not be ignored. Media focus often shifted away from new music and toward personal struggles. Even during successful periods, headlines reminded audiences of past trouble. Health issues later affected his ability to perform consistently, adding another layer of uncertainty. While he remained active in entertainment, including television appearances, his career path became uneven. Public trust had to be rebuilt again and again, and the business side responded cautiously. His name continued to draw attention, but not always for music. Each headline carried weight in an industry where image shapes opportunity. Number 6. Kenny Chesney. Kenny Chesney rose to fame in the late 1990s and quickly became one of country music's biggest stars. Songs like No Shoes, No Shirt, No Problems, and How Forever Feels made him a symbol of freedom, fun, and escape. Fans loved his beach style, high-energy concerts, and easygoing image. He built a powerful brand that extended beyond music. In the mid-2000s, his personal life drew intense attention. His marriage to actress Renee Zellweger ended quickly through an annulment, and the situation became a major media story. Speculation and gossip filled entertainment news. While his music continued to succeed, public focus shifted toward his private life. Around the same period, other incidents brought further attention, including a highly publicized arrest involving police in the year 2006. Though the situation was resolved, it added to the sense that his carefully managed image was under strain. These moments mattered deeply in the world of corporate partnerships. Endorsements and sponsorships rely on stability. When personal stories dominate headlines, companies often react quietly. Deals may not be renewed. Brand relationships may pause without public explanation. Radio play can continue, but corporate money can disappear silently. This kind of shift affects touring support, promotion, and long-term planning. Kenny Chesney continued to sell out shows and release successful albums. Still, the business side adjusted. Public appearances became more controlled. Partnerships became more selective. Later debates around touring decisions and public health added more layers of discussion around his brand. His career remained active, but the balance between music and corporate backing changed behind the scenes. When allegations turn legal, the stakes spike. Civil suits and criminal charges follow. Number 5. Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks rose to fame in the early 1990s and quickly became one of the biggest stars country music had ever seen. His most famous song, Friends in Low Places, turned him into a household name. He was known for selling out stadiums, blending country with rock energy, and connecting deeply with fans. The public loved him not only for his music, but for his image as a devoted husband and father. He was often described as the perfect family man in country music. At the height of his success in the early to mid-1990s, rumors began to follow him. Tabloids and entertainment outlets reported persistent stories about extramarital affairs during his first marriage. None of these claims were ever proven in court, but the coverage was widespread. The rumors clashed sharply with the image he had carefully built. Fans who once saw stability now saw uncertainty. Behind the scenes, his marriage faced growing strain. By the year 2000, he announced his divorce. Soon after, he made a shocking decision. At the peak of his fame, while still dominating charts and selling out shows, he stepped away from touring and recording. He publicly stated that personal and family pressures played a major role in this choice. Other controversies also surfaced during this period, including disputes with record labels and frustration with the demands of fame. His sudden retirement confused fans and industry leaders alike. A superstar had chosen silence over the spotlight. But some stars did not step away quietly. They were dragged into court. Number 4. George Jones. George Jones rose to fame in the late 1950s and early 1960s and became one of the most respected voices in country music. His most famous song, He Stopped Loving Her Today, later became legendary, but long before that, he was admired for his emotional delivery and raw honesty. Fans loved him for sounding real, broken, and deeply human. In the year 1969, he married fellow country star Tammy Wynette. The relationship quickly became one of the most talked about marriages in country music. Behind the fame, the marriage was filled with trouble. Chronic infidelity, obsessive behavior, and growing substance misuse defined their life together. Alcohol and illegal substances worsened the situation, turning personal problems into public chaos. Domestic violence allegations emerged, and the marriage became unstable. Tours were disrupted, shows were missed. His reputation suffered as promoters struggled to rely on him. Even as his talent remained unquestioned, his behavior made him unpredictable. The marriage ended in divorce, but the damage continued. After the separation, his struggles did not disappear. Substance dependence remained a major issue, and his personal life continued to affect his work. Missed performances became common. Industry trust faded. His name became associated with instability despite his unmatched vocal ability. Other controversies followed, including arrests and repeated attempts to escape responsibility. The public watched a legend unravel while still producing powerful music. His career moved in waves, rising and falling with his personal battles. If obsession can ruin a marriage, what happens when it turns dangerous?
Number 3. Waylon Jennings. Waylon Jennings rose to fame in the late 1960s and early 1970s as one of country music's most rebellious figures. He was a leading force in the outlaw country movement, blending rock energy with traditional country storytelling. His most famous song, Good-Hearted Woman, became an anthem of defiance and freedom. Fans admired him for his raw honesty, rough charm, and refusal to follow Nashville rules. His stage presence and gravelly voice created a sense of danger and authenticity that millions found thrilling. However, behind the music, his life was often chaotic. Throughout the 1970s, he openly engaged in infidelity, and rumors of multiple affairs became common. At the same time, heavy illegal substances use became a central part of his daily life. This combination of lust, illegal substances, and rebellion blurred the line between persona and self-destruction. Concert tours were disrupted when he struggled with substance issues. Radio programmers hesitated to play certain songs, concerned about his public image. Industry executives grew frustrated with missed appearances, erratic behavior, and internal conflicts. In addition to personal excess, other controversies arose. Public fights, late arrivals at events, and clashes with managers made headlines, feeding the press narrative of an unmanageable star. Despite this, fans often forgave him, drawn to the same outlaw image that caused friction in the first place. Yet by the late 1970s, the combination of affairs and addiction brought him dangerously close to career collapse. There were periods when he nearly disappeared from public view as he confronted near-death health crises linked to his lifestyle. Eventually, Jennings achieved sobriety and regained some control over his life and career, but the scars of those years lingered in industry memory. But for some artists, the scandal did not stay inside marriages. It followed them to courtrooms. Number 2. Sam Hunt. Sam Hunt rose to fame in the mid-2000s and became one of country music's most recognizable voices. His breakout hits, such as Body Like a Back Road, combined country storytelling with modern pop sensibilities. Fans loved his smooth vocals, playful lyricism, and ability to connect with younger audiences. He was seen as the new face of country, balancing romance and contemporary style. In the year 2019, Hunt faced a public scandal. He was arrested for driving under the influence after a night out, and the incident became headline news in Nashville and across social media. This arrest came amid reported instability in his personal relationships, adding more scrutiny to his lifestyle choices. The story moved faster than earlier generations of country star scandals because social media preserved every detail and amplified fan reaction. The consequences were immediate. Sponsors and event organizers hesitated to book him for performances, and radio programmers reconsidered rotations. public perception shifted, turning Hunt from a clean-cut romantic figure into a cautionary story. Industry insiders noted the tension between his talent and the risks associated with his personal behavior. While he continued to produce music and tour, the momentum of his early career slowed as the arrest remained a recurring topic in news cycles and fan conversations. Other controversies followed. Stories about late-night partying, rumored infidelities, and clashes with management circulated online, reinforcing a perception of recklessness. Even as Hunt apologized publicly and attempted to regain trust, the arrest remained a defining moment. Social media preserved the narrative, demonstrating how one lust-driven night can impact perception for years. And sometimes, the scandal is not an accident, it's a pattern.
Number 1. Billy Ray Cyrus. Billy Ray Cyrus became famous in the early 1990s with his crossover hit, H.E. Breaky Heart, which turned him into an international star. Fans loved his country pop style, his charisma, and his energetic stage presence. He was celebrated as a vibrant performer capable of appealing to both traditional country audiences and mainstream pop fans. Yet alongside his music, his personal life frequently made headlines. Multiple marriages and divorces became tabloid fodder, and rumors of affairs circulated widely. From the early years of his fame into the 2010s, Cyrus's relationships often overshadowed his music. Fans followed every development with intense curiosity, and the media rarely focused on his creative work without also mentioning his personal turmoil. The repeated cycles of marriage, divorce, and rumored infidelity created a persistent narrative. Even as he released new albums, toured, and performed with his children, his credibility as a reliable artist eroded in some circles. Promoters and industry insiders often noted that personal drama made planning tours and collaborations more complicated. While nostalgia tours and family-friendly appearances kept some aspects of his career alive, the public drama frequently dominated headlines over music releases. Other controversies added to the tension. He was involved in disputes with record labels over creative control, appeared in reality shows that highlighted family struggles, and faced criticism for controversial statements during public events. These incidents reinforced a perception that his personal choices often took precedence over professional stability. Cyrus's story highlights how repeated lust-driven chaos can quietly hollow out a long career. The attention never fully dissipates, and repeated personal turmoil can overshadow even a successful musical legacy.